What's going on, guys, my peeps? So I'm waiting for the 39. I'm gonna get the 54 from here, and I'm gonna call my mom when I'm on my way home. Yep. So I'm taking the 39 to the 54 to the 44. So I'm taking 3 buses home. All right. Yeah. I had to because working this hours. The 59 it's taking long. The 59 not gonna come until 11:18. So the bus is taking mad long. So I'm gonna take the 39 going towards Glendale, and I'm gonna get off at Metropolitan and take the 54 to the 44. And that's the faster route that I could get it. So waiting for this bus right here. So it's been a good day, good shift. My shift is about to be done. I got to work at 8 o'clock. I worked from 8 to 11. So it was like a good shift. I left my house at 7. So I usually work from 8 to 11. So that's a good shift right here. So it's kind of like good and not that hectic. You gotta work to make the money, right? So today was a good assignment, good assessment. Tomorrow we're gonna be in Manhattan because I got a show. I record my show tomorrow, and after that, I'm staying in the city, and then I'm gonna take the J train from there. I'm gonna stay in the city, so I'm not taking no express bus back. I'm gonna stay in the city, or if I do that, I'll probably stay in the city tomorrow because it's gonna be raining all day, and I'm gonna be indoors a lot. So I'm gonna be staying in the city a lot. So I'm gonna be indoors. So that's a good part about this job, We're trying to get to a place in life where we could get to deal with a lot of understanding in this job, a lot of things that we could address in a matter of time. So I feel like a lot of things that we have to do as far as working is that we have to get in shape. I started this job in 2022. I was 264 pounds. I'm down to 201. And this is 201. My belly used to stick out of my shirt. This is how my belly is now. So it's kind of like a lit thing. I started walking a lot, working out, burning out so much calories, and it's been a good inspiration shot, and trying my best to not get stressed out on this job. So it's like this job is not stressful. It's like a 9 to 5. It's like you sit in the desk and you're crying like a piece of shit, and then you like this and like that, and then when you're out here in peace of mind, you get that glitch of why you want to do this work and why you want to. A lot of people that work for MTA, they end up quitting their job to end up going to trucking. A MTA driver that used to work for the depot over by the B3, he decided to quit. He said MTA suspended him. He decided to go into trucking. And he said trucking, yeah, if you go into trucking, how much money you make out of trucking? You make, yeah, it goes in, yeah, you go all over the country. You're driving on the road, you get your permit, you drive all over the road, you pick up packages and you deliver them. Yeah, my friend does it, and he pick up his truck in Texas, and he traveled from Texas back to New York with the truck. Like, yeah, a lot of people, they work from Boston, Massachusetts, and travel all over. Yeah, a lot of people, they drive all over the globe, and they work, and they have their own trucking business and starting up their trucking company. So it's kind of like, a lot of people, they go on into that because 9 to 5 ain't working out for them, man. And they decide to quit their job and go into that. I used to work before I'm going to get into what I'm about to say. I started out I used to work a 9 to 5. I used to work as a real estate. I used to work as a sales agent at a real estate company, and wasn't making any money. I brought in the clients, and they took the commission money that I was bringing the client. The client decided to sign with me, and they was gonna train me to get my license to do it. And when I was about 14, 15, I started as a janitor at a nursing home. I used to clean up patients' buttholes, and I didn't like that job, and I decided to quit. Ended up going into sales associate business. I ended up doing that for like a year, and it wasn't making any money for me. I decided to work at Family Energy. Didn't make any money through that. My check was $35. That was my first check. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I ended up closing my Chase account. I used to have a Chase account back in college. I ended up freezing the account. I gave back everything back to them. I ended up closing my bank account. I ended up closing everything out. And decided that, I had to do something about what I want to do, whatever like that. I didn't know what I want to do at first until when I saw a brethren brother of mine. He had a camera in his hand, and they was in the community filming. And I said, "How did you get to this? How did you get to film like this? Because I'm interested in joining your company. I want to film." And he said, You have a phone?" I said, "Yeah." "You have a camera?" I said, "Yeah." "You have a YouTube account?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Go to areas and start filming the areas. You don't need to have a permit to do it. Just do it." I said, "All right. Does it pay?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Get your card. You have a card, right? Go to the office and get your card." And they put the money right on your card. I said, "Okay." I went to the employment office over by HRA. I said to them, "I want to go into content career and I want to go into film." They sent me the week here. I said, "I want to go into content career and I want to go into film." They said, "Okay, we're gonna help you get into that field." I said, "All right." I ended up deciding to get into that. They sent me to a school over by Manhattan School of Computer Technology, and they sent me to a school that I wasn't good at accounting. And I said, "No, I'm not going there. I'm not doing that." And I decided to withdraw from the school, and I ended up going to digital film camera where I got my first job. And the school paid me $700 to do that. So long story short, I ended up doing the job, and I got the $700 check. Decided to start my content career and business from there. And about COVID lick, I lost my job. COVID lick. COVID lasted until 2021, 2022. About 2021, 2022, started working as a camera operator. And I started doing my own shit, had my phone, streaming, whatever, going to places and start to film. And I started making $50 from it, and then I went from 50 to 100, and I worked my way up from 100 to 1,000. I made 1,000 in a year. So I went up to 1,000 for like a year. So I started doing this job, and I started working, and a lot of people was like, "Wow, how did you do it?" I said, a person once told me, without faith, nothing is impossible with Yahweh. You feel me? And as at the end of the day, it's like without faith, nothing's impossible. Yahweh can do, because Yahweh can fix everything in this world. But a lot of people don't go out and fight for it. You feel me? So if you used to be certain things, you gotta get out that comfort zone and get to yourself in an area where you say, "Oh, I used to be something, and I want to be something in life, and I'm going to get to some place in life, but how I'm going to get to it is how I'm going to regrowth and how I'm going to reborn from it." So that's how it is. So one person always told me, without faith, our work is dead, and without faith, there's nothing impossible what Yahweh can do for us, right? So, started this job in 2022, like I said, and I'm making money from this. And thank you to the brethren brother that introduced me to this business, because I wanted to go into it. And now I have my own company, Basketball Wells LLC. I have my own show, mental health show, and I'm a community producer certified. And I'm actually opened up my own warehouse space in the area, and I'm actually coming out with a clothing brand and also with a book. So without Yahweh, everything would be possible with God, And I always thank God for that. So yeah, we over by Grand Avenue and Rush Street waiting for the Q39. So we out. I'm about to head home now.